Hey Tugboats, it's Shiipty, and welcome back to the channel for another update on my Sims series, Time Will Tell. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. As I mentioned, we are back with Time Will Tell. I am so happy to be back with this family, but also very sad to report that Nicole is not having the best of days. And you think that, you know, with the Harvest Fest being right around the corner and the fact that her daughter Morgan is actually back at home, you think things would be better, but actually they're not. So Max and Nicole, you know, they woohooed a while back. And, you know, we discussed this. They probably won't be doing it like that anymore, not until the relationship is at a healthy place. But unfortunately, now Nicole is under the impression that there is a possibility that she might in fact be pregnant. And this is not something that Nicole wanted. And I know she did this, you know, she should deal with the consequences if that is the case. So Nicole is out here on the dock. She just wanted to take a walk, get some fresh air. She's probably just gonna have a seat and just sit out here and look at the water. Her phone has been blowing up nonstop all day, but she just can't even be bothered to look at it. It could be our therapist, it could be family, but regardless, she just doesn't want to be bothered with that right now. I wish I could say that the only thing that Nicole was worried about was the fact that she might be pregnant, but there was something else that Nicole did, guys, and this is what has me side-eyeing her the most right now, is the fact that she actually, oh my gosh, I don't even want to do it. I don't even want to say it, but she stole money from her child. And if you guys could only guess, it was probably the one who could never see any bad in her mom, and that in fact was Violet. And I've discussed this a few times, but Violet has actually been saving up some money so that way she can go and get a new drawing tablet she's really had her eyes on. And her grandpa actually gave her a huge donation to actually pay for about 95% of it. So Max originally only had to put towards maybe $60 or so, but since Nicole has taken all of that, he kind of has to pay for the entire thing. And I know some of y'all are like, why did she take that baby's money? Let me tell you, I'm not justifying this. I would, like, if this was my spouse and they took money from my child, I would be heated. I don't care about the reasoning. You know, if it was like something serious, we can talk about this, we can figure something out as I'm trying to narrate and her phone is still being blown up. But she thought, you know, I'm stressed, I don't know what to do, she can't smoke, and so she resulted in taking her daughter's money to gamble it. She tried to look at it as a way of like, hey, maybe I can flip this, maybe I can get even more and get her an even better tablet. But when I tell you guys, Nicole lost all of it. She lost all of it. And now she's not only sitting here wondering, how am I going to tell Max that there's a possibility that I'm pregnant, but also how am I going to tell my daughter or even my husband? How am I going to look at them and tell them that I took my daughter's money and gambled it? As peaceful as it is out here to just be sitting on the docks looking out into the water, Nicole knows that she does have to come to terms with her actions. She has to figure out a plan. Like, what is she going to do? We can see here that she wants to be friendly with Max and she just wants to discuss things with him. But I do want to take a look at her traits just to show you all what I'm talking about. So right here, we can see that she's not okay with being pregnant. You know, I think that Nicole has reached that point in her life where she doesn't really see herself bearing another child. She doesn't see herself being, you know, a mother to any more children. The children that she has is really all she saw herself with. And she also does not want a child right now. So she's a little upset at the fact that, you know, she took this pregnancy test and it did come back positive, but there's always that chance that there could be a faulty pregnancy test, or it could just be a false positive altogether. And so I think personally, Nicole should go see the doctor. So she has scheduled an appointment to see a doctor, but that appointment is not for a few days. So she's really thinking, you know, maybe I can hold off. Maybe I don't have to tell Max right now, but I do have to figure out a reason as to why I would have stolen this money from our daughter, and is he even going to listen to me? So that's another thing. She's like, do I just tell him? And me personally, I think that she should, because Max, you know, let's go ahead and switch over to him. He's actually neutral about having children, so he could be okay with it. He doesn't really care. You know, we can figure this out together. We can talk about our options. We can talk about your options. We can really just work this out. And he is such an amazing father, such an amazing husband, that I really feel like he would actually try to help her on this. You know, you don't have to do this alone. You're not by yourself. You have me. I'm here. And I think that that is something that Max has been screaming to her this entire series. I am here for you. Your family is here for you. We want to help you. But Nicole is such a do-it-herself kind of girl that she just really is trying to tough this out on her own. So Nicole just got home and she decided to go ahead and face the truth. But as she walks into the house, she sees none other than Max and Violet sitting on the couch. And she overheard the conversation as soon as she came in. But Violet had told her father that someone took her money out of her piggy bank. She came home, you know, she's going to go grab this tablet on sale after Harvest Fest with her dad. That was the plan. So she was going into her room, laying out her money, counting it, trying to see what exactly she had total so she could tell him. And he just cannot believe this. I mean, poor Violet, she is so discouraged. She's like, who would take my money? Why is my money not there? She doesn't even know what to think at this point. Like, why would her family members take her money from her? But Max is reassuring her, you know, honey, we're going to figure this out. You know, we can find out where the money is and everything. It's going to be okay. And she just feels like she is just lost for words. Also, not to mention, guys, we only have 2,000 simoleons. And if we take a look at the bills that we have due here shortly, our bills are over 4,000 simoleons, guys, 4,000. So not only is Max now stressed out from the household bills, but he's also trying to figure out who took this child's money. But Max just tells his daughter to go to the kitchen, grab her a bite to eat because he knows that she's hungry after school. But immediately Max's mind starts thinking, oh my gosh, I bet it was Rye. Rye must be back on drugs again. Like, I have to talk to him. I just cannot believe this is the case. But Nicole sits down next to Max, and guys, I think that we're just going to go ahead and say it because she overheard the mumbling. She already knows that he thinks that it's their son, and she can't let him think that. Not about her boy. You know, she has to protect her children, even though she's doing the worst possible things to affect her children's lives at this moment. She's going to look out for her son, and she's going to tell Max that she is the one who did it. Now she knows that Violet is in the kitchen, and she's kind of hoping she stays there. She's going to talk very quietly and explain to Max, hey, you know, what do you even do at this point? Just deep thoughts? I mean, deep conversation? That might be probably the best option at this point. Then Nicole just go ahead and comes out and says it. She's like, I took the money from Violet's piggy bank, and I'm really sorry I took the money. She's like trying to get into it, and Max just shakes his head. He is in such disbelief right now. He can't believe that he was even thinking for a moment that it could possibly be Rye when it in fact was this person sitting right next to him. Yes, at this point, she's this person because who steals from their children? You know, he is so upset with her, but he's going to try to keep his voice down. He does not want Violet to hear this conversation, but he is going to go ahead and chew her out. He cannot believe this. He's like, I can't believe you took her money. What do you mean you took her money? And guys, I feel like Violet is done eating at this point, and she comes into the living room. You know, she's about to tell her dad good night, and she's going to hear this conversation too. She's like, I'm sorry. I just, you know, I have an addiction and I had to take it. He's like, you took her money though. Like, that's not fair. You can't do that. And immediately Violet hears this conversation, guys, and she wouldn't normally do this. She wouldn't normally yell at her mom, and she knows better. You don't raise your voice at adults. You don't. But at this point in time, she is upset. And she is going to shout, not forbidden words, y'all. She's not going to be cursing, but I do think that she's shouting at this point. So she's going to come over here and she's going to shout at her mom. He's like, I should have listened to my dad. I can't believe you right now. She's like, Mom, you took my money. And guys, look at the anger on little Violet's face, but also look at that little lip. She's mad, and she deserves to be mad. Like, she's not feeling well. She's been feeling sick. And then also she's just angry. But Nicole is like, oh, Violet. She's like, Mom, I can't believe you right now. And instead of even sitting here trying to have this conversation, Max is like, baby, just go to your room, go lay down. You know, I'll handle this. And Max is just trying to figure out like, what? Like, he just is so struck on this money, but he just can't believe she took this money from their child. And I think that he's going to insult her and say, you know what? Nicole, you can't be here. You have to get out. Like, I don't care where you go. You can go to my sister's house. You can go to your sister's house. You just gotta go. Like, you can't stay here. And Nicole is so shocked. She hasn't even told him that she might possibly be pregnant. And do I think that Max would throw her out just so on the street if he knew that she was pregnant? No, I think that he would either tell her to stay in the basement, don't come upstairs, just stay there. Don't bother us. If you need anything, just let me know and I'll go upstairs so we don't have to talk to each other. Or he would send her to his sister's house and just explain the situation. But he doesn't know that there's a possibility that she's pregnant, and he just needs her out because he feels like he is going to lose it. He feels like he is going to flip. And then she bites back. She's like, "Are you serious? You're kicking me out of my house? You can't do that." And he's like, "Actually, I can kick you out. You haven't been here for months." And she's like, "Are you serious? You're just going to throw me out and in front of my child?" Because at this point, Violet is still standing here. She completely ignored her dad when he said, "Go to your room." She's just been kind of hanging out, listening to this conversation. But I do feel like at this point in time, he's going to tell her, "Baby, you got to go upstairs. Like, you need to go sit down. Don't stay down here. I need you to go upstairs." And she's just so hurt. She hears her dad yelling at her mom, and she's so conflicted on her feelings because it's like, I love my mom. I don't want her to be kicked out. I just want her to be okay. And both of our teenagers have just gotten here. They have no idea what's going on the inside or any of that, but I'm sure that they're going to come in shortly. But he's like, "You can't be here, Nicole. You really can't. We'll talk about this as soon as we can, but right now, I just need you to go. I need you to go." And he just wants to keep yelling at her. Y'all, I have no idea what to do. But I do think that at this point in time, Morgan is probably going to come inside, and, Rye's going to come inside. The dog's even upset because of all this yelling. And this is probably the worst that Nicole and Max have ever been. And I feel like he's like, "I'm getting tired. Today has been a really crazy day. I need you just to go." And look at Rye. Rye's like, "Dad, why are you yelling at Mom?" Like, this is just such a conflicting situation because these two have no idea what's going on. Poor Violet's upstairs and just so heartbroken. And then we have these two here just like really ready to chew each other out and rip each other's heads off. Like, it's bad. It's bad. Good morning, guys. It is the next day, and it is actually Harvest Fest today. So I believe it's safe to say that Harvest Fest is more than likely canceled for today, mostly because of everything that occurred with Nicole, but also because Max is actually feeling not too well himself. And so he hasn't done it yet, but ultimately he decided he's going to have to reach out to his parents, ask to borrow some money, and also tell them Harvest Fest is canceled. And he's not really looking forward to this. He doesn't want to hear them say, "Oh, you're right. We told you not to talk to Nicole. We told you not to trust her. We knew she was bad news." And it's just not something he's looking forward to. But he's just going to go ahead, get the courage up, and he's going to call and chat with his mother. And gosh, it's like, do you call your mom or do you call your dad? If you call your mom, she's probably going to be more intense about telling you, "Hey, I told you so." But if we call her dad, he's a little bit wiser. He might share some news. He was in the military. Maybe he's a little bit less, just quick to jump to conclusions. So I think ultimately we're going to call her dad because at this point in time, he just wants to talk to him. And he calls him and he goes, "Hey, Dad, I just wanted to let you know we're not going to be having Harvest Fest at my house this year. I'm not feeling that great. And also me and Nicole have some problems going on." His dad's like, "Problems? What's wrong, son? Are you okay? Are you guys all right? Is everybody okay?" And did you guys hear that? I don't know if you heard it, but it sounded like in the background, somebody said, "What?" And I imagine Max just told his parents Nicole stole Violet's money, and Mom is probably in the background because I imagine they're in the kitchen. It's Thursday morning. It's Harvest Fest. They're probably prepping all the food, trying to get ready to go to Max's later this afternoon. And Dad had him on speakerphone, and Mom was just like, "What? What do you mean she stole my baby's money?" And so now Max is like, "Oh my gosh." He's probably thinking to himself, like, "I can't believe I got myself in this situation." But he has to tell them, and he's like, "And I'm kind of behind on the money on bills. If I could borrow that from you guys." And they're like, "Oh yeah, of course, honey. We're here for you." But he wraps up that conversation because he just can't hear them disciplining him anymore. He's just ready to go downstairs. And guys, it was really sweet, but Morgan and Rye actually made breakfast this morning because they both knew that, you know, Dad had a really rough day and they just want to help out as much as they can. So they made breakfast. Hopefully everybody will come down and grab some soon. I'm going to grab Vi. She's still very sad this morning. I feel so bad for her. But Max is going to come down here because, you know, at the end of the day, he has his problems going on, but he still has to be a father. Oh my gosh, 24 hours before our bills get shut off. Hopefully our parents send the money quickly. But yeah, at the end of the day, he still has to be a father to these kids that he has here. He can't neglect that no matter how angry he is. But comes in, he's like, wow, oh, thanks. You made breakfast, Morgan. He can tell that these are Morgan's eggs because Morgan, you know, it's just the way she cooks them. He can tell. If it were Rye cooking these eggs, they would more than likely be burned. But he just wants to sit down, have breakfast with his family, try to be a little bit level-headed and everything. But oh man, he's still so angry from last night. And look at the kids. They're really trying to help and pull their weight. And I so appreciate this. Last night, Nicole was actually able to get in touch with her sister. I imagine that's not where she wanted to go, but she is staying with her sister right now. And Morgan also is kind of happy that mom's not in the house. You know, she's a little heartbroken because she trusted her mom. She came home on the intentions that mom would be better and that things would be better. But unfortunately, she just is still messing up. And she's like, damn, mom promised me she wouldn't do this. And yet here we are again, still struggling with the same things that she's supposed to be quitting. You know, it just doesn't make any sense. But guys, you won't believe it, but Nicole just called Max and they got into another argument. And he is now in here venting his frustration to Morgan. He's like, I just don't know what to do with your mom. I really don't know what to do. I thought that we were going to be able to work through this. I thought we were going to be able to get through all of this and go back to how things were, but it just doesn't seem like it. And Morgan's like, Dad, I hate to say it, but there's just something wrong with mom. Maybe something happened before you even met her, or you know, maybe, I don't know. I don't know how these things work. She truly doesn't. I mean, she's just a teenager and trying to get through university and trying to figure out her own life, let alone trying to figure out her mom's life, you know? And so she's like, I don't even think that she's been taking counseling as seriously as she should be. And she's like, look, she's even trying to text me too, Dad. And I'm not texting her back. And she's like, I'm tired of her games. I honestly, whatever you need to do, Dad, I will be happy for you. And he just keeps looking at his phone. He's like, I just wish she would just stop. You know, she's going to have to move out. She can't come back in here. It's just not great for her. And he's going to complain about the bills. He's like, I've got all this stuff going on with the bills and stressed about that. And now I have to figure out how I'm going to get Violet a drawing tablet. Like, what am I going to do? She's like, it's going to be okay, Dad. You know, if I have to pick up a job and cancel soccer, I'll help you out. It's going to be okay. We'll figure this out. She's like, I don't mind. And he doesn't want that. He doesn't want his children to have to work and help him pay bills. But, you know, there are people in these situations, and it is helpful to know that, you know, she's willing to do that. And he appreciates that. He just doesn't want it to have to come to that. And he's like, it's okay. He's like, you just stay doing what you're doing. It's fine. I don't want you to do that. Oh my gosh, guys, I cannot believe this. Max is actively... It's a cardiac explosion. Does that mean like it's a mild heart attack? Oh my God. What a day this has been. I mean, probably the worst Harvest Fest possible, but Max is here at the hospital. His daughters did come with him. Unfortunately, there was not enough room in the ambulance for Rye to ride with them, but Max is alive and well, guys. I'm not gonna let this man die. I was gonna save him. But, you know, he did get a report from the doctor. Max does in fact have a little bit of blood pressure issues that he's gonna have to work on, but the doctor did recommend, you know, hey, just take it easy. Definitely just make sure you're not doing anything strenuous or stressful, and just kick your feet up for a little bit. This has him stressed out, but honestly, guys, he is more happy. He's happy that he wasn't taken away from his children. He's happy that he gets another chance to live at this life. And it's just a beautiful thing at this moment. So everything that he was worried about from Nicole, he's not even pressed about that right now. But he does know, you know, in the back of his head, I have to figure out what I have to do. And guys, I don't want to say it, but I truly feel like this is the straw that is breaking the camel's back at this point. Meaning, I don't know how much more Max can and will tolerate in this relationship with Nicole. Poor Violet, she is just so upset. She is very much so worried about her dad, hoping he's okay. She came in her pajamas, didn't have time to change, but Morgan, once her dad was okay and awake and they got him conscious in the hospital, she got upstairs, got changed, and was able to come out here with them. But she too, you know, she could be mad at her mom right now, but she's just happy that her dad is okay, and she's trying her best to keep her sister in high spirits. But poor little girl, she's sick, and I think, you know, at this time we're just gonna turn on the TV for her. We just have to wait a little bit longer. They're just writing dad's prescriptions, but here, let's watch some kids TV. You know, she's trying to distract her. She's like, here, let me put something on for you. They're getting dad finished up. You know, he just texted me. He said that they're gonna be done soon and we get to go home. He just kind of has to take it easy, okay? It was a mild heart attack, but they still want to make sure that he's taking care of himself. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like Mama Camp, aka Max's mom, is probably going to be staying with them for a little bit. She's going to make sure her baby's okay. And I imagine dad's probably coming too. But definitely they're probably going to help out, especially when it comes to like bills and everything like that. I just can't even imagine how his parents are going to respond at this point, given that not only did Nicole steal from their granddaughter, she stole the money that they gave their granddaughter. She has also just been kind of an eyesore to them for a while now. They had her son stressed out, and then on top of it, she's technically the reason he's here. He was so stressed out about everything, and his blood pressure got so high, being so worked up, that he ended up having a mild heart attack. And I just don't think that it's going to be very good for Nicole. I'm not saying that I want her to fail entirely, but at this specific thing in their relationship, I do not think that it would be best for them to move forward, unfortunately. What did I tell you guys? Just like clockwork, Max has been here for some time with his children, and his son Rye has actually been cleaning up the downstairs for his grandparents. He has been vacuuming, changed the sheets, wanted to make sure he could pull his weight and help out as much as he possibly could to get things ready, especially given what happened to dad. But Max's parents came straight over without any hesitation, brought over about 10,000 simoleons to help him out. They wrote him a check, and his mom just keeps checking in on him. She is so worried about her baby. She's like, we need to give a lesson on hard work. That's what she's thinking about, but you know, we don't want to do that. Let's just check in on Max, make sure he's okay. She just wants to check on her baby. This is her baby, guys. He is the youngest out of her two children, and I feel like she's gonna do her best just to make sure that he's all right. But Grandpa's sitting over here with Violet. He, of course, just wants to cuddle his little bug. He sees that she's upset, and oh, do they have a close relationship? I think so. He's just like, it's okay, sweetie. Your dad's okay. He's tough. He's tough. You know, he's gonna be all right. But Max and Mom come back over here, and she's like, honey, is there anything I can do? Do you want me to go in there? Do you want me to make some dinner? I can make your favorite, or I can make that soup that you liked when you were growing up. Whatever you want, baby, I got you. He's like, Mom, it's okay. She's like, you sound like a goblin. You sound so sick. You need me to take care of you. It's okay. And, you know, we're gonna give a life lesson on family. She's like, I'm ordering your prescription right now. He's like, Mom, I already got medicine. She's like, no, you need other stuff. I need you to be singing beautiful notes after this. I don't want you to be sick anymore. She's just that attentive mom. She's going to take care of her kids no matter how old they are. She's always going to be here. But she really is just trying to look out for her son, you know, be sweet, take care of him. She wants to give life lessons on family. But does she have a strict relationship with Max? I'm going to say no. Maybe with his sister, but not with Max. I do think that she also wants to give some affection. She wants to be thankful, especially here on Harvest Fest. You know, things could have went so sour. She could have potentially lost her son, but she's like, you know, I'm just so happy that you're okay. He's like, me too, Mom. I would just be so upset if something happened to me, and what about the kids? And I'm just glad I'm okay. And she's like, me too. And he's like, well, the doctor did tell me to rest, so I'll probably call it an early night. And she's like, yes, sweetie, you go ahead. I'll take care of the kids. Don't worry about anything. I've got it. You know, I raised you and your sister. I'll be able to handle this. It's not even that big of a deal. And he's like, I really appreciate it, Mom. You know, thank you so much for not coming in here and yelling at me and all of that. It's just been it's been really hard with all the Nicole stuff, and I don't even know what I'm gonna do. And he's like, do I just like call it off? Do I keep trying to work things out in my marriage? I have no idea. And she's like, honey, we can talk about that later, but right now I want you to go upstairs and get you some rest. You want me to come up there and sing you goodnight? He's like, no, mom. And now they're just joking. I love these two. I mean, Max's mom, we're gonna get him in the bed, by the way, guys. He is so exhausted, especially after today. But Max's mom, she can be a little hard, you know, sometimes, but she really does mean well. She just doesn't want anything bad to happen to her son. She just wants to look out for him. I mean, any of the kids. And even if, you know, if Nicole wasn't as bad as she is, I think that she would look out for Nicole too, because there was once upon a time where she actually liked Nicole, but right now she's just not the biggest fan of her, especially given everything that has happened. But Grandma and Grandpa are here, guys. No worries. I think that Grandpa is going to take this dog out on a walk because he really likes to take care of Howie whenever he's over here. So let's get Howie out on probably just a little short walk. Grandpa's going to take care of that. And I think that Grandma, you know, she's like, hey, sweetie, do you want me to make you something to eat? Are you hungry? She's like, no, I'm not hungry. It's just been a really bad day. And she's like, oh, you sound sick too, sweetie. We're gonna make soup tomorrow, I promise. We'll take care of all of this. We're gonna get you guys better. She's like, okay, Grandma. But she's like, if you could come upstairs and tell me one of your bedtime stories, I'd really like that. So she's like, yeah, whatever you need, sweetie, I got you. Violet and her grandma just got upstairs, and Violet is just taking care of her little pincushion. This was the name I did decide on the hedgehog. I don't think I shared it, but I did decide on the name pincushion. I'll go ahead and pop up the comment right here that suggested it. But Sylvia's just sitting here looking at this thing, and she's like, ew, who gave my granddaughter such a little thing? She's just not into pets like that. Not up her alley. But she's like, hey, sweetie, I'm gonna spray the bed for you like I did when you were little. So she's gonna spray the monsters under the bed, make sure her granddaughter doesn't have any bad dreams. She just wants to come in here and just be super grandma at this point in time. Do you guys think that they call her grandma, or does she have like a little fun nickname like Gigi, Mimi, or Mama, or something like that? Probably something really cute, right? But we are gonna get her to just crawl in bed. We're gonna ask to get Grandma to put us to bed tonight. She's like, Grandma, do you mind tucking me in tonight and making sure the covers are all snug? And she's like, of course, sweetie, let's get you in the bed. She's like, and you make sure you rest up and you have sweet dreams, okay? And she's gonna kiss her goodnight, but we're gonna go ahead and we are gonna turn off all the lights in this room. But Sylvia was able to carry the suitcases downstairs to the basement. Her husband is still out with the dog. He should be back shortly, but she's just gonna have a seat on this couch. She so badly wants to reach out to Nicole too, but she's like, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. We're not gonna mess with her. We're just gonna try to be positive and focus on our son. That's what I just noticed. She got a new pop-up and it says that she wants to become enemies with Nicole. And yeah, that's what's going on there. But yeah, guys, we are probably gonna wrap up the episode right here. It has been super crazy eventful. I'm just so happy that we were able to keep Max around, and he's gonna be okay. He just has to have a long recovery. That's it. Just make sure he gets better. But I want to thank you all so much for watching today's episode and hanging out with me. If you have any thoughts or anything on Max and Nicole's relationship, let that all come out in the comments. Please do, because we have so much going on. Oh my gosh, before we end this, we just got a new pop-up and it says that Morgan is putting on a brave face, but she is spiraling into anger. I mean, even though her dad didn't pass, she's still experiencing these feelings, right? Like, rightfully so. But yeah, it looks like we're going to be having Grandma and Grandpa staying with us for a while. I'm very excited about that. But yeah, guys, I'm going to wrap up this part right here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to become a tugboat if you aren't one already. I love you guys, and I will see you all very soon. Bye, everyone.